Let me ask you a serious question, right?
Sure.
What was the first job you did on the racetrack?
Wow, probably a hot walk. I was a little kid. I was come here, I was probably 12, 13 years old. I had an uncle train horses and came out here just doing everything. Started with everything.
Who introduced you to this life, man?
My uncle. Yeah, he trained a couple of horses back probably in the 70s.
What was horse racing like in the 70s?
Oh, totally different. You wouldn't recognize Saratoga back then. I remember I come up here and I ran a horse for a trainer called Timmy Ross. And I have a wind pitch, Eddie Maple rode her. I think it was 1973, 4. And Saratoga looks nothing like it does now. I mean, the only way to get water out here, you had to pump it out. And I'm not that old. You had to pump it out of all the wells and everything. It was totally different. Even town was different. It was just a short little meet. And you were up here for 4 weeks, and that was it.
And who was a mentor for you, man?
I worked as a kid when I was a young kid, helped Campo out. But I started out when I was really 18 years old, started to change for me to think about training horses. And I worked for a guy, Fiore, and he had an owner there. He got into some kind of legal problem when I was 1981. And he let me train the horses. And that was it. I trained for a guy named Jack Shaw, gave me a shot with 6 horses. And it went on. And, I mean, everything's been great to me. I've won 2 Belmont meets here, and the game's been very good to me.
And what's some of the good horses that you've been around?
I had a horse called Saratoga 𝐸, the first horse ever to win an Eclipse Award, bred in the state of New York. She got beat a nose in the Alabama up here, but she won the Gazelle, and she won 2 grade 1s. She's been great. I had a horse called Subordination. I took him out to California. I won the Hollywood Derby at Hollywood Park. That was a grade 1. I took him to opening day at Del Mar, win the Eddie Reed. He made over $1 million, 20 years ago. That's big.
That was big back then. Yeah, that's special, man. And how important is the men and women that wake up every day and do this job, man?
Oh, we need them. Without everybody here, we'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
Everybody works together, and we try and take care of the horses.
And right, who's the best jockey you ever seen ride a horse?
Angel Cordero.
You didn't even blink.
Hands down.
Why,
Angel rode his horse and everybody else's horse.
Who's some of the trainers, man, that you looked up to that?
When I was a kid, Ward, I remember going in Forgo's stall, going to see Forgo. He was a big horse.
Yeah.
Later on, I said, wow. I had a good friend of mine when I went to California, Bobby Frankel. He was my buddy, he died early.
Yeah.
He was probably the best, but there's so many, but.
Bobby Frankel, right? What kind of guy he was?
A little different, but I used to bring him to my house, and we had block parties. I made him cook hamburgers. Nobody knew who he was.
Yeah.
Hamburgers and hot dogs and corn and everything. And he loved it. We drink some wine and have a lot of fun. I really did love him. He was a great guy.
Man, and right, racing today versus yesterday, what do you think, really?
I think we got these powerhouse stables, which we didn't have back then. I don't know if it's good or bad, but we didn't have that. We had Woody Stevens was big back then.
Yeah.
We had all the stables back then. Down at Barnes 1, 2, 1 through 17,
Yeah.
Rondinello trained when I was a kid over there, and King Ranch, and Roger Lauren, Lucian Lauren, Joe Moo. Mac Miller was a great guy. He was a great trainer. I was pretty friendly with him.
Alan Jerkins?
Alan Jerkins was the best.
Yeah.
And when he got sick the first time, 20 years ago, I snuck in a room over in the hospital to go see him and stuff and talk to him.
Yeah.
He was a good old guy.
Like he touched a lot of people's lives on the race.
Yeah, he always helped everybody. Mad, kick buckets and yell and scream, but had a heart of gold.
I see you got Paulie over there, man.
Paulie's with me forever. He's my right arm.
Good
Paulie's
horse.
with me, 35 years, and I could trust him he's great.
You remember the first day you met Paul?
He was rubbing Track Baron and Gulch. And John, his wife come working for me, and she had to take a job somewhere else. She was off the track, and she says, "But my husband's going to help you." She was such a sweet girl, Karen, and Paul came over to Bond and helped me out, and stayed with me ever since.
That's his history, right?
He's great. As loyal as can be.